Hey, it's Kirsten Crable, which means it's crafts and draft time. I'm gonna change things up a little bit. We're gonna start going with our craft today, and I'll get to this good guy later. So for today's craft, we're gonna keep with the theme of spring and get you a cute springtime vase. Today's craft I found from theweekendcraft.com. If you haven't seen it, check it out. She's got a step-by-step instruction for everything we're about to do. So if anything that I do is a little confusing, check out theweekendcraft.com and she'll give you all the steps on how to do exactly what I'm doing. So we're going to start with a jar. Now you're going to want a jar that's probably a salsa jar. You want a larger width of hole. And you want it to be one of the bigger sized ones instead of a shorty, because you're making a vase. So you gotta have some room for your flowers. For my first step, I'm just gonna get some good old white paint. And this was again out of the oops section in the good old hardware store. As always, we wanna keep things a little clean. Alright, I'm gonna stick my hand in the jar, which is something that she suggested on the website. Just gonna paint. So I'm seeing that if you have thick enough paint, it's not the end of the world if you didn't get all of your sticky off. Okay. So we're gonna let that dry, and while it's drying, we're gonna get talking about our beer. So I've got my jar drying. And I've set it aside. I went ahead and put my paintbrush in some water, got that cleaned out. So we're set and ready to go. So let's take a look at this delicious wanderer sitting over here. As you'll notice, it's a light one. And I'm gonna give you a few seconds, take a few guesses, see if you can figure out what kind of beer it is. No? It's a good old-fashioned wheat beer. Now the wheat beer dates back way back in the day. This one goes all the way back to the Middle Ages. Wheat beers were real popular back then, but they ended up dying out because of lager. Everyone switched over to lager, got so interested in those, they stopped drinking wheat beer. And we wouldn't have this beer today if it wasn't for a man named Pierre Celis, or something like that. Back in 1960, from a town of Hogarden. Given the name, I'm gonna assume you can maybe figure out what beer I'm drinking here today. It is the classic wheat beer that brought it all back, and now, today we've got wheat beers galore. So the reason we have wheat beers is typically the barley goes into it, and we talked about that with the stout and the porter. You roast them for a lot longer, which makes them darker and gives them the dark, thick look to it. Wheat beers take some of the barley out and replace it with, guess what? Wheat. So it gives it a little bit different taste. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Alright, so we can start right away by noticing light in color. Kind of a sandy straw color, right? You can zoom in. It's full of bubbles. So carbonation is insanely high in this one. Look at them go. You can tell it's a little bit see-through, but the wheat beers tend to be a little cloudier. So unlike the Pilsner or the lager, you can't quite see through as well as you thought you could. Because typically wheat beers go unfiltered. So let's give it... Yeah, this has a different smell than what the lager or the Pilsner would have. Ooh, it's like a sour smell. It's almost like something has gone wrong. Not gonna lie, not the best smell, but definitely a beery, yeasty smell, which if you've ever smelled yeast, not the greatest smell in the world, so don't judge a beer by its scent. Give it a go. Yeah, very carbonated, you can taste that. You can taste that, you can feel that. A lot of people describe this as having a silky mouthfeel, like as if you're rubbing some silk right on up on that tongue. But it's smooth, it's silky, smooth, going on my tongue. Slides right on down. Let's get a couple more tastes. Now I've been getting made fun of and I'm not drinking enough. Well, I'm not really here to chug my beer. I'm here to be tasting it and figure out what it is going on in this beer. So I'm taking smaller sips, but a lot of them. Wheat beers are known to have kind of a muted hop taste. So there are still the hops in there and there is still that kind of bitterness, but it's way muted down. So it lets these spices come on out and come through. And it's so interesting because it is. You put it in your mouth thinking, I've got a lager. But then there's this weird wheat yeasty taste to it. Ugh, don't listen to that. That's a horrible description. Oh, you can tell that it's highly carbonated because I'm just belching up a storm, which, excuse me and pardon me, but I'm the only one in here filming, so I don't have to feel that rude. Oh, carbonation makes a belch. So what's so interesting about it is it's like so carbonated and it is so silky and smooth going down that you don't really get a lot of the spice taste. I don't have that bitterness from the hops. I don't have the chocolate malts like the stout. This tastes like the smell. It's as if all the flavors have been kind of muted together, that none of them are really pulling through. Like, I'm not getting a whole lot of spice with this. I'm not getting a whole lot of hop with this. I'm not getting a whole lot of malt. Now the wheat taste is kind of coming through. But that's what makes wheat beers really interesting, is because of the light hops, it allows for those spices to pull through. So a lot of these beers put in a lot of good fruit, like the citrusy taste. The other thing about this is the finish. So it finishes real light, and there's this kind of light tartness to it. Yeah, but it goes away quick. So although this isn't my favorite flavor, it goes down quick, gone before I know it. Oh, this is a great beer for beer beginners. Now I know I haven't really sold you on that, but maybe don't do just a basic wheat. I would do like a wheat beer with grapefruit juice, a wheat beer with lemonade. All of these you can find in your local store, your local liquor store, your local grocery store is where I picked this up. And there were several varieties of wheat beers, but I went with the old basic, just plain wheat. And then in the future, we'll get talking about all the different flavors. Now, a fun thing to do with this beer, if you got just a plain wheat like I do, and you're finding, it's not really my favorite, but I almost like it, throw a little orange juice on top of it. Got yourself a beer mimosa. You've got yourself a great day to sit out on a patio and get a little buzzed. So our wheat beers, great for patios, great for beginners, great for some summer afternoons. They're light, they're carbonated, the finish is quick, they go great with juices, and if you come into a restaurant and you're confused on what to get yourself a classical wheat beer. You can't go wrong. Now, let's go back to our craft, finish her up, see what we're making on our cute little vase. So we've let our jar dry enough, right? I've got my hot glue gun ready, so go ahead and plug a hot glue gun in while you're doing this and get yourself some twine, okay? That's gonna be for later. Now I went ahead and I squirted on a little orange and a little black. So we're taking our jar, find where you want your front, so wherever the paint looks best, as it were. I'm gonna make 2 circles. So we got 2 kind of oval circles. I'm going to take orange. Take a drink. Give him some whiskers. I'm going to note that drinking and painting might not result in your best paint job. Take some twine, put a little hot glue down. Put a couple dabs here and there and twist it around. Snip off the leftover. And just like that, you have a cute little bunny springtime vase. How adorable. All right, you've got your cute springtime vase. You've learned all about your wheat beers. That concludes this episode of Crafts and Draft. Y'all have a great day. I'm gonna do a special shout out to my dad, Vaughn. It's his birthday tomorrow. Everyone give him a big cheers.